You are not ready for love until you do these two things. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of us want love. We want a relationship, but we struggle with these 2 points. And it's a pattern that I consistently see with people and myself. The first point is something that is very controversial. And I also feel like it is very misunderstood. And that is why I feel like it gets really controversial. And that is forgiveness. And I didn't really understand it, to be quite honest. It took me a long time to come to this conclusion. And now I see it from a different lens. And only because I really saw myself in such a dark light. And I saw other people in such a dark light. And that is what gave me the grace and understanding of what forgiveness truly is. And as somebody who has been in relationships where I've been abused, emotionally abused, physically abused, all different types of abuse, I have been there. And so in no way, shape, or form am I saying that abuse is okay and that you should just forgive people and you should just continue staying with them and continue getting beat up. Like, that is not what I'm talking about. What I'm really trying to say here is that, first of all, forgiveness is about yourself more than the other person. So when you choose to forgive somebody without a justification, without an apology from that person, that is what I believe is going to free you from all the chaos in the world. And this is how I truly came to this stance. I remember telling my mom and telling my dad the pain that they caused me, and they have no recollection. And again, this has nothing to do with, I'm not here to blame them or have, get sympathy from anybody. Well, I'm just telling you my experience and how I came to this conclusion. So I remember expressing how I really felt, and they literally could not apologize. They couldn't understand my pain. And a long time ago, I just wanted to stop talking to my mom, to be quite honest, because I was like, I just cannot deal with this. And I spoke to somebody else, and in the end, I really try to understand where my mother came from and where my father came from. And once I could see their childhood and maybe the abuse and chaos that they went through, it gave me a little bit more compassion for them. And again, I'm very different. I understand. When I speak to some people, they look at me like, are you okay up there? So I understand when I say things, a lot of people might look at it and be like, what the hell are you talking about? But that's just, again, this is what the hell this channel is about, okay? Another reason why I chose to forgive my parents, and again, I create boundaries. When they go out of line and they are crossing my boundaries, I'm the first one to be like, yoo-hoo, that's not gonna happen. Again, that's not happening. And it has, to be honest. My dad says some ridiculous stuff sometimes, and I have to call him out on it, and the call ends right there and then. So I have boundaries with them. I'm not saying that I don't, but at the same time, I realized, and I kind of looked at them in a very different light. And the point that I was trying to make is that I know that I work my ass off, even though my daughter might not see that way. She might see me in a very different light when she grows up. She might be like, you did this wrong. You gave me this trauma. You did this to me, and she might actually be upset at some of the decisions that I made, or maybe I said something to her in a rude manner when in reality, I was probably just in a rush, or I just was stressed out about paying my rent, whatever it is. And so I won't be able to control that whenever that ends up happening, if it does happen. But what I'm trying to say is that I want to teach my daughter about forgiveness. And if I don't forgive my parents, why should I expect my daughter to forgive me? And trust me, she's going to need to forgive me for a lot of different things, I am sure, right? Even though I'm on ChatGPT every night, she said this to me, what do I do? And I'm trying to do better and be better and break those generational patterns, generational trauma. But at the same time, I can't control how she's going to take me. I really don't, And of course, children right now, when they're younger, they love you unconditionally because they have nobody else. You're their only relationship and the only place that they feel safe. But when they get older, they're going to look at you and they're going to start remembering things, and they're going to, the vision or their perception of you could change. So I don't want to make this long because I have to actually go and pick her up. But what I'm trying to say is that For me, and my advice to you as well, is if you're somebody who has people still in your life that you're unable to forgive, get deeper in that. Ask yourself why that is. And maybe, so this is something that I used to recommend my clients. I would make them write a letter to that person that really hurt them and they are unable to cut those ties off them. It's very, very important that you recognize that this negative force, even though you might think, it's okay, who cares? But if their name comes up and you still have a little bit of a reaction to them, there is something there that you need to still release. And again, this is just my suggestion. You don't have to listen to it, obviously. And secondly, treat yourself how you expect your man to treat you. If you do not give yourself the love that you know you deserve before you get in a relationship, that means that you are going to most probably have the same lower standards and lower expectations from the man that you're with. So when you treat yourself like shit, you're going to attract a man that treats you like shit. Okay? This is the easiest way that I can put it, but I really am trying to help you out here. Okay, sweetie? If you're somebody who only puts on makeup and looks cute when you're about to see a man, but then when you're by yourself at home, you don't look after yourself, your nails are a hot mess, and I'm literally talking to myself here, and you do not truly groom yourself, you do not put on perfume for yourself. So basically, you care more about what the man thinks of you than what you think of yourself. So before you start dating or get in a relationship, act as if you already are right now. Like, what are some of the things that you want him to do for you? If you want him to take you out for dinner, go for dinner by yourself. Sometimes we feel as men and women that we need to get permission from a man or woman in order for us to live an exciting, adventurous, fun life. That is why I believe right now we have this pandemic of loneliness where we are just all by ourselves in our homes and we're comfortable, we're single, and we're just like, this is it. And we want somebody so bad. We want a relationship so bad. And we really think that by sitting at home and watching Netflix, that man or woman, the dream man or woman is going to fall on your lap. But let me tell you something. They're not. So I need you to check yourself. If you don't do these two things, finding love is going to be very difficult. The first one was, again, forgiving yourself. I forgot to mention that. Forgiving yourself is the most important thing on the planet because we as humans make so many mistakes. I heard this prayer from Sherry. And if she has somebody in her life that is triggering her, what she will say is, show me, God, how you see them. And I think that's beautiful because sometimes we have people in our life that are really, they're testing us. And when I say this, sometimes, show me how you see this person. And a lot of the times you'll see that they're flawed, that they are sad, they need that help. And again, not saying abuse is okay here, but I'm just saying you get to see them in a light where you have a little bit more compassion for that person. Forgive yourself, forgive everybody around you, for yourself. But when you're unable to forgive somebody, you truly are hurting yourself. And I know we don't think we are, but it really does have a huge impact in your life. So forgiveness and loving yourself, treating yourself the way that you want to be treated when you're in the relationship. Treat yourself like that right now. Respect yourself, value yourself, treat yourself like the love of your life. That's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next one.